The information being released concerning the auditions is rather questionable, including contradictions and carefully chosen wording. One of the biggest contradictions is Cody Christian promoting he went into an audition for an unknown project and an unknown character, but released in a later interview, he contradicts himself and states that he prepared for the audition by watching Advent Children. If the role and character were unknown, it would have been impossible to prepare for the audition by watching Advent Children. This shows that he was aware he was auditioning for Cloud Strife and he would be taking over the role from 16-year voice actor Steve Burton. Here's what he said in the article. In preparing for the audition, the first piece of reference material I used was a depiction of Cloud in Advent Children, Christian said. Watching this and hearing Steve Burton's interpretation of the character rooted a lot of my reimagining of the character tonally. Many of the other voice actors have released statements saying they were aware of the characters they were auditioning for. Brianna White states she knew she was auditioning for Aerith based on the audition sides, and she prepared for the audition by watching Advent Children along with other renditions of Aerith. Erica Lindbeck, the voice of Jessie Raspberry, says character art was included in her audition materials back in 2015, as the character has truly never been voiced before.
And, the audition, did you know what you were going for?
Yeah, I did because I believe they provided some character art. So I gleaned from that what this was.
Susie Young admitted she received character art and the name of the character in her audition sides when she received the audition for Yuffie.
Tell me, going in, did you know that it was Yuffie that you were going for?
Because they provided the image and the name, I was like, this is the girl, this is the baby.
Britt Barron said she was contacted personally and invited to audition for Tifa and prepared the audition sides to the best of her ability, saying she really wanted the part. Austin Lee Matthews said that he had concept art in his audition for Roche. John Eric Bentley said he was personally called by Rita and asked to audition for Barrett in the new Final Fantasy game.
So, what was the audition process like for this?
I got a phone call from our casting director. We had just finished a different project, a smaller project, where they wanted me to come in and do some voices for a game. And she said, hey, there's this Final Fantasy game that they're doing, and we'd love to have you come in and audition for Barrett. And I said, sure. She said, but do you know anything about it? And I said, do I know anything about it? And
With Final Fantasy XV, another Square Enix production, the voice actors said they knew the characters they were auditioning for, just not the project, as it was under a secret code word.
Did you know you were auditioning for Noctis?
We did know. I did not know who Noctis was. I wasn't following Versus 13 at all. Ignis, I auditioned for, and Gladio.
Yeah, it was just a regular cold audition. I got all 4 parts. They sent out all 4 dudes, and then I think it was Ravis they also sent out, and Arden. And I read for Noctis and Prompto and got called back. And then I got these auditions, and I immediately recognized the concept art was Amano.
Yoshitaka Amano?
Yeah, Yoshitaka Amano. I think it was. If it wasn't him that did that concept art, it was very similar style, right? So I recognized it immediately as Final Fantasy.
Paul Tinto recently revealed in an interview about his audition for Cait Sith in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, he received the voice clips of Greg Ellis in Dirge of Cerberus and was given the instruction to match the voice or stay very close to it.
They were saying, but I think partly that was maybe the case because they had to give reference. They had reference footage for you to watch anyway. So, you weren't going to keep it a secret, I guess. But it came through. They had a clip from Cait Sith in one of the more recent previous iterations in Dirge. I always forget the second name of this title. Dirge of
Cerberus.
Yes. Yeah. So there was a clip in there, and they had said that they were looking to try and match or be very, very close to what had already been created. And so they'd given a clip of that. They'd also given a clip of the Japanese for us to be as a reference point as well.
Based on this information and hearing the new cast compared to the old cast, we know it's possible all audition material included clips from the older voice actors with the possible instruction to match the voice or be very close to it, especially since majority of the new cast said they researched the older actors' performances. If Square Enix wanted to go in a different direction with the characters, why did they include the instruction to match the voice? In almost every interview, the new cast states they wanted to honor what was already created, which sounds like a fancy PR way of saying match the voices. It's saying it without actually saying it. This opens up the possibility that the new cast was hired based on their specific ability to replicate the older cast voices in order to keep as much vocal consistency as possible. Let's take a look at Crisis Core Reunion and see how much of a voice match we have. Caleb Pierce said when recording for Crisis Core Reunion, every single line from Rick Gomez was played.
We actually, in Crisis Core, we started recording a few scenes into the game, so that way I could really have a chance to find, who Zach was. We did a lot of watching what Rick had done. We actually watched everything that Rick had done, which was pretty amazing that they...
We can hear how the lines were spoken exactly the same way Rick Gomez spoke them, but that is not the only character in question. The entire cast copied the performance of the old cast down to the pauses and the inflections, while only creating their own performance for the unvoiced parts of the game.
Heroes to children, protectors of the peace. But they're not normal. They get some kind of special surgery, don't they?
So they say.
Normal is best. I think so, at least. Those soldier people are kind of weird.
They're weird, huh?
So pretty.
The face?
The eyes.
You like them? Then take a closer look. Eyes infused with Mako energy. A soldier trademark.
Oh, you.
Color of the sky, right?
Uh-huh. But not scary at all.
You and I, that is.
Roger that.
What's wrong?
Well, I thought you found something out about that other matter.
The missing operatives were the ones tracking Lazard. Also, they had reported a strange pod-like device in the area.
Is that Hollanders?
Probably the same device that was stolen in Modeo Line.
Meaning?
Lazard, Hollander,
and Genesis?
We'll have to go see them.
Let's go.
First, go to the soldier floor. We'll depart as soon as you...
Don't test me! Don't test me.
Is that your idea of honor?
My mother could not continue to live, and neither can the son.
What are you talking about? What's going on here?
I told you. You can't live on that side anymore.
Midgar's just crawling with nasties.
Soldiers having difficulties.
Reno, rude.
Just say the word.
Go.
Yes, sir.
Midgar's just crawling with nasties.
Soldiers having difficulties. Reno, rude.
Just say the word.
Go. Yes, sir.
The new cast not only attempted to voice match the old cast, they also copied their performance in Crisis Core Reunion. If you had to recast, why wouldn't you go in a different direction with the voice and give a completely different performance rather than imitate the old cast? Again, I speculate they hired actors with more marketing potential who could voice match as close as possible to the old cast, only with the English version, as Japanese, French, and German are using actors from Advent Children. Paul Tinto admitted in his NDA concerning Kate Sith, it was said, "Please do not say anything about this because there have been other voice actors that have played these characters before. Drop an audio, own emotional experience with them, and not to shout from the rooftops about it."
Again, I didn't look at it too much because they said, please don't say anything about this because there have been other actors that have played these characters before, and to me, own emotional experience with it were asking not to shout from the rooftops about it when I was sure. And
I can speculate they are telling actors not to say the names of the old cast or even mention that the characters have been voiced before, so they can continue to promote the original didn't have voice acting in hopes the fan base can just forget they have been voiced previously.
The Japanese voice actors of Tifa and Aerith have been the same since the very beginning. Have always been the same, while the English voice actors have changed over the years. Especially Aerith has gone through many different voice actors. The Japanese voice actors have been all the same, even though they first took on these roles like 20 years ago. So, when we watched Advent Children in Japanese and Aerith came on, and I heard
what Square Enix told them as to why they were recasting is a mystery, and due diligence would have been the ethical move for voice actors to talk with the old cast members to check and see why they were recasting. But this would confirm our speculation that they wanted the same voices for the characters, but different names to market the products, mainly CBS Warner Brothers actors and shows. With the information provided, it would be safe to speculate that the new cast, including Cody Christian, were all aware they were auditioning for their respective characters who already had established voice actors and were possibly told to voice match the previous actors. It would be illogical for the other new cast to know their characters they were auditioning for, except for Cody Christian. The next question to ask is, why are consumers being lied to? Don't forget to like and subscribe to see more content, and follow us on TikTok.